Hello everyone, this is Stephanie with snapaholics.com. Shop Snapaholics for all your hair bling needs. Anyway, I run Snapaholics, and I let all the braiding experts do videos on how to actually braid the hair. I'm going to do something a little more my speed, which is how to make these are just braided yarn. This is just braided yarn. They're each individual piece like this, and my dog is chasing a bug, just ignore him. And once I have a whole bunch of these, they will become a ponytail in her hair. I've done two ponytails a couple different times, and this time I'm going to do one big ponytail in the back, so that's why they're a little longer than I normally would make them. And as you can see, they're just braided, and there's beads have been added to the bottom. So I'm going to show you how to make these, and they're reusable as long as they stay in good condition. Once you take them out, they can just, maybe you want to trim the ends a little bit to make them look a little fresh, but they're really not hard to make, so if you did them all over again, that'd be fine. And you can just do whatever colors. This is actually rainbow yarn. This is yarn that actually looks like a rainbow, which of course she chose. So I'm going to show you how to make these and then put them in their hair. Yes, Tia, that's what I am going to do. All right. Okay, what you need for this project is lots of yarn, pretty yarn. I let Gerlande pick what yarn she wants to use, and it's always some kind of rainbow, but it would look really cool if you did like all pink yarn with maybe a contrasting color of beads, and you can maybe put one contrasting strand of yarn color in there with it. There's just you can do anything, and it looks, you could even do all black if you wanted. And of course, beads. We're going to use the big giant ponies, pink transparent stars, which I cannot get anymore. I apologize. I'm going to keep checking. And then you need a smaller bead. Now you could do a completely contrasting color. I've chosen gold and silver sparkle barrels. They're not going to. It's not that they're going to show that much because you're only going to use one for each end of the braid. But when you jumble them all together, when the ponytail's done, it's going to look really cute. Of course, you need your easy beater, available on Snapaholics, and a pair of scissors. And that's all you need for this project. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to measure. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to do one of these. You're going to go however long you want. This is how long the ponytail basically will be, and I do it a little bit longer because you're going to braid it, which is going to shorten it up, and you might want to trim it. So, maybe about like that, depending on, you might want really short little ponytails, whatever. And then you just kind of do this. 2, 3, 4, 5, and you want to count to about, I did mine to 60, and I do 6 strands of yarn per braid, so that's that's 2 strands per two. You're braiding 2, 2, and 2, and so 60 will make 10. If you want it more, you can do more. Just make sure it's like a multiple of 6 is pretty much what you want to do. So you just do that until you have a big, huge bunch of yarn. Okay, and then you would cut it off. And then you actually want a whole length that is double this, because you're going to fold it over like this. And you don't want it to be cut here. You want it to be a long thing that you're going to hang like this from their hair. So this is actually going to be the ponytail length like this. But you need one that's this long. So what you're going to do is, once you get it all gathered, cut it off. You're just going to take these loops on one of the ends, and you're going to cut through all the loops. So all the loops are gone, but you leave the loops on the other side. Okay? So then what you're left with is a whole bunch of strands that are long, you see, like this. And mine, when I do this with the yarn, they all come out to be a little bit different, but that's fine. You don't care about that because you don't want it to look all perfectly even. You want it to look a little bit random. So I have a whole handful of yarn that's like this. So that's what you do first. Okay, so now what you do is you take 6 strands of yarn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? Then you can do this anyway. I mean, sure, all of you probably know how to do a basic braid. So you can do it any way you want, but I just find it easiest to just make a knot in the end like this. Just to, it doesn't have to be tight, just to maintain it all together. As close to the end as you can get it. And then you can either tie this to something, maybe. If I had like a door handle, a door handle, or part of the chair, maybe I would tie it to that. I don't. Sometimes I'm just sitting here in a chair, so what I do is I just put it in my mouth. I just hold it loosely in my mouth, and then you're gonna start braiding. You know, like you do your braid, or you do it this way, and you go all the way down to, you know, maybe about like there, or a little higher up. I try to do each one a little bit different, so because I want the beads to all hang kind of at a different height. I don't want them all to be exactly in the same spot. So then once you have it braided, then you remove this knot, and you shouldn't really have to. You should just be able to remove the knot, and then you're done. You've got a braid with the strands hanging out at this end and the strands hanging out at this end. And I'll show you what to do next. Alright, next part of the project is putting the beads on the braid. I've already done this one. So what you're going to do is this. Very easy. First, what you want to do is you want to thread a big bead on. These are the big giant ponies, and they have a bigger hole. You might find if you do use 6 strands, you can do this with 3 strands of yarn. It's just the braids are going to be really small, and you're going to have to do a lot of them. 6 strands of yarn. The only problem is the barrel bead. The barrel bead with the easy beater, it's very hard to get the barrel bead on this many strands of yarn, because the easy beater, you have to fold the yarn in half to get it through the bead. If you had a pro beater, you could probably do it, or if you want to get creative and just kind of, you know, I don't know, put the barrel. I mean, that would just take me too long, so I don't have any patience for that. So I used a larger hole bead on the strands. Somehow in my last ones that I did when we were on our way to Haiti, I did get the regular old sized heart pony onto the strand. I don't remember how I did it though. You might be able to use an easy beater. You might just have to really work it to get it on there. Anyway, so I'm using a larger hole bead. So you just bead it on. Okay. Just like that. Okay. Now you're wondering, uh-oh, it's going to fall off. Well, you could be really boring and just make a knot, but I decided I was going to get a little more creative. And so what I did was I take my contrasting bead, which in this case will be a glitter barrel. This is just a regular barrel. And I did this by accident when I realized I couldn't get the barrel on there very easily. This is how this came about. This was last night when I was doing this. What you're going to do is, you see how you have 3 sections of yarn that you were braiding? 2, 4, 6. You're going to take one of those. I'll just pick the end one. You thread the barrel bead onto one of the sections. See? Okay, it's on the middle one right now. Then what you're going to do is you're going to tie this section to another section, and you're going to capture the other section in between. For example, I'm going to put this one onto the edge. Now I'm going to tie this section to this section, and I'm going to capture this section in between so it doesn't get left out. So see, this one's in the middle, and I'm going to wrap this around. I'm going to tie it to this one. See? So I'm just flipping it over here. See? See how this one's stuck in the middle? Okay, I'm just going to tie a regular old knot with these 2 sections. Just regular old knot. And I'm going to capture that bead. Make sure the bead is above where you're tying the knot. I'm just going to capture that bead right in there. See? Make another. Make sure you do it twice. Now we have a fancy way where the pink star will not fall off, and you can use